Everybody, I am live. What is up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about this is my K-pop roundup live stream. Now, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about NewJeans. Oh, NewJeans, the NewJeans updates. Yeah. We're going to talk about Jin and the announcements for Jin this week. Very shocking. I wasn't expecting the Jin announcement. Not anything. We're gonna talk about Coachella. There were four Korean acts or K-pop groups, whatever you want to call them, that performed at Coachella. The controversy regarding these acts and the things that I've read and seen regarding these acts. I don't know, but but I'm gonna tell you. So that is what we're going to talk about. And I'm trying to think anything else. So we're going to talk about concerts. We're going to talk about summer concerts. We're going to talk about concerts that I'm going to film and put on my channel. We're going to talk about which ones, where, when. That kind of goes hand in hand with Jin stuff. But anyway, we're going to first talk about NewJeans. Now, for the uninitiated and the people who don't really know, hold on, let me fix my settings a little bit. I don't know how many people are going to be in this live stream because it is Easter here in America. And so a lot of people are visiting family. A lot of people are away. It's Easter weekend, but I catch y'all on the flip side. I catch y'all on the rewatch. So those who aren't here, I just wanted to get this live stream done with because I got a lot of things to do. Okay. So like I said, we're gonna talk about NewJeans. For those that are uninitiated and those who don't know, NewJeans is a K-pop, a K-pop group in South Korea. They debuted like 2 years ago underneath a label named Adore. Adore is under Hybe. Hybe, if you don't know who Hybe or Adore labels are, Hybe is the owner, and they own different labels. And one of the labels they own is Big Hit. Besides Adore and Pledis and a bunch of other little subsidiaries, they also own a label or a division called Big Hit, which is the division that the worldwide BTS underneath. So Hybe is the parent company of BTS and Hypen and TXT and Le Sserafim and Illit, a bunch of groups. So they have a bunch of groups. They also have different divisions into technology, video gaming. They have a new division they open up in Japan. They have Hybe America. They have Cat's Eye, which is a girl group. They're planning to do more TV shows. So Hybe is becoming one of the big premier labels in South Korea. Not just South Korea, I would say, in the music industry, period, in a discussion. So not just America. So this group called NewJeans was a part of it. And they're young ladies, they were trainees, and they came out and they were picked to be in this group, and they were underneath the door, and the door had a CEO named Min Jin. Well, Min Jin was the creative director, the CEO of Adore. She directed and mentored NewJeans. I can effectively say that that's what she did. And so it came to a point of a series of things that happened. And Min Jin got into it with Hybe. She accused Hybe of not treating NewJeans correctly, not giving them brand deals, not having them come out at a certain time. Like, she accused Adore and Hybe of a bunch of different things. So eventually she stepped down as CEO and sued Hybe. Then NewJeans flipped the script and said that they didn't want to be part of Adore anymore. And it's been on and popping since then. So if you want to learn more, there's a couple of channels. There's a channel called Hybe Boy, HYBE Boy. There's that's the YouTube channel. There's a channel called Asian Entertainment. And there's a channel called Soul Light, Soul like the city soul, not like in your body soul. Soul Light TV. He has a YouTube channel. Those three sources will give you the nitty gritty and the details about the whole Adore, Min Jin, Hybe fight that has been going on. So if you want to know more, I've covered it on my channel. You can look through my playlist. I've done live streams about NewJeans going months and months, going all the way back to last year. All this started early last year, like around March of 2024 is when this kind of broke the news, by the way. So up until now, New Jeans has decided to put themselves on hiatus. I don't know how that really works. Legally, it doesn't. And so now they're in court against New Jeans against Adore. Because the about a month ago they went to court. The judge did a preliminary injunction. Basically, I guess New Jeans is trying to say that their contract is invalid. That's one of the issues, or they're trying to have the contract deemed as invalid. And basically, New Jeans is trying to get out their contract. Okay, y'all right, right. Um, but the reason why they're claiming that Adore has a breach of contract is really makes no sense, and it's neither here nor there. And you can go look it up online, and none of these things really make any sense contractual wise or in the entertainment industry or any industry. It doesn't make any sense. Basically, they're trying to get out of their contract to where they don't have to pay the amount for terminating their contract. They're in a 7-year contract, from what we know, and that if they decide to end their contract, they're going to have to pay Adore the money. So I am one of the person, me personally, who firmly believes that if you sign a contract and you try to get out of it, there better be some serious breaches of contract on the record label's part before you just try to wiggle your way out of a contract. So they went to court, which they're going to be going to a serious series of court cases within the next couple of weeks, couple of months, years. I mean, this could drag on for years, to be honest with you. So they recently had an injunction where the judge overlooks things and brings their lawyers, representatives in, and the New Jeans showed up and they, explained their side and explained their story, and they did all that. Basically, the judge came back and was like, okay, from what they overlooked, the injunction was like, y'all are still in the contract. And if you want to perform, then it has to go through Adore. Like, it has to go through until we can figure this whole contract thing out. In the meantime, you should still be fulfilling your contractual duties until they have the real court case about whether the contract has been breached or whether it's valid or not. New Jeans did not comply. So they filed an appeal, okay, which is within their right. They filed an appeal. Last week, they came back and was like, okay, your appeal is denied. Like, so, I mean, they can keep going back, keep going back. I don't know who is advising them. I can't believe that they have the second largest law firm in South Korea representing them. And I can't see any law firm in their right mind advising them to keep going ahead of this. This is a waste of money. This is a waste of time. The whole thing to me the is something that I can't see any law firm with their merit advising them this. So they, in my opinion, we have no proof, have decided to embark on this journey of litigation on their own, in my opinion, because no law firm would see the writing on the wall and take this case, but they're happy to take their case. They're happy to take New Jeans money. I mean, yeah, they're going to do it. But whoever is advising them, I don't think it's the legal firm. Maybe it's their parents. Maybe it's Minhee Jin. Maybe it's them themselves. Maybe it's all and everything. I just feel like this is just a waste of time. This is a waste of their time. They could be making music. So now they're not making music. They're not touring. They're not doing anything. I'm assuming eventually I'm assuming that they have somebody backing them because they have the second biggest prestigious law firm in South Korea. They're not cheap. Filing court cases and going to court is billable hours. So they're charging them by the hour. So I don't believe for 1 second that New Jeans in 2 years, the five of them have made all of this money to be paying this law firm. I don't believe it. The math ain't mathing. I added it up. It doesn't add up. So I'm assuming, in my opinion, that they have to be backed by somebody. Somebody is backing them and helping paying their legal fees and court costs. But like I said before in my many live streams, and I'm going to say it again, when the money dries up, people start acting funny. When the money start to dry up and folks start to go broke, money make people act real funny. Because right now they're all like, we're united. We all want to do this. And some of them are even still minors. Some of them are not even 18, 19 years old yet. I think one of them is like maybe 17. So again, it's all fine and dandy when you got money coming in. But as of right now, they're not performing. As of right now, they're not making no new deals. As of right now, they're just stuck in a limbo, in a litigation limbo. And even again, even if the court, in my opinion, if the court comes, let's say they go to trial, right? And the court comes back and says, the judge come back and say, NewJeans, you in contract violation. My question is, are they gonna go back to Adore? I don't think there's no way on God's green earth, there's no way in hell that NewJeans is just gonna tuck their heads down and be like, okay, I guess we're going back to Adore and just perform and just act like nothing ain't happened. They didn't drug Elliot LeSeraphim. They didn't have their fans drug people. They didn't done all of this for what? For them to lose a court case and them to go back to Adore? I believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it, but if I don't see it, I don't believe it. I don't believe that they're just going to tuck their heads in and just, well, I guess we're going back to Adore and we're just going to be performing on Mnet. Like, oh, we're going to go to that KBS variety show and just sit up there and act like nothing. I don't think that this is going to end well for NewJeans. I've said in the beginning, they in essence have ruined their career. They've ruined their reputation. They've ruined their careers. They have said things in international media and Korean media to anger the Korean public. They've disrespected Korea as a nation. They got up in there and did interviews talking about Korea wants us to be rebels and people in Korea, y'all just don't understand. And y'all, they pretty much said Korea was backwards, even though they're in the Korean K-pop industry. So I guess they're trying to appeal to international fans and or international group shores or international people, and it's not that didn't work for them either, because internationally, especially in America, we really don't care. We have our own issues and our own things going on here, so we really don't care. Hello, Anyo, honestly, hello, what's up, Moonlight? Like this is crazy. I'd say happy Easter to everybody, because I know that most people like are doing the Easter thing here in America. But NewJeans has effectively ruined their career. This is I would say the dumbest lawsuit I've ever seen in K-pop. This is the dumbest career move I have ever. Yeah, they're not big enough, Marsha. Hello, they're just not big enough. Like they are not a big enough groups. So bring me on to my second part of all this. People talk about the NewJeans bunnies. Their fandom name is bunnies. So people talk about the NewJeans bunnies, how they've reported other channels, gotten people, Soul Light TV Sean, they got his channel taken off, I think X or Twitter or whatever. They've attacked other people on different online spaces. And I've looked at this high and I've looked at this low. I've gone on, I'm not a social media person, so I'm not on Reddit, I'm not on Twitter. So y'all, but I will go out there to research. So I've looked and looked and looked and looked and looked, and I've searched. And so I have to go back to the source, because the source is not American Spaces. I tell people that when it comes to K-pop, when it comes to gossip or attacking or even good stories and stuff like that, it starts in South Korea. It starts on the K-pop message boards. That's the origin of where everything starts, and then it spreads to Reddit and Twitter or whatever in the West, and YouTube in the West. But it starts in Korea. I've said this before in my live streams. It does not start here. It does not start in America. It does not start in the West. It starts in the Korean message boards. You go back to the Korean message boards, and I do. You get them translated. I do. And I want to know what people are saying in these NewJeans bunnies forums on these Korean message boards. That's where it starts. So Hive Boy his channel has currently put out a video as of today where basically people are admitting, which I've said before, that this quote unquote fandom is not real. I've said this before. I said, y'all, this fandom is not real. Either these are paid people, bots, paid agents, or just a small group of people in Korea and possibly in the West that are doing all of this, who have nothing else better to do. It turns out that a lot of these posts and stuff, it is indeed a group of people, some of them adults, a lot of these are like adults who have their own agenda. And I can speculate all day what their agenda is. I don't know what these people's agenda is, okay? I've heard different theories, but I do not think that they have this large fandom. I've not seen it. People talk about, oh, this person got a Twitter, and I'm like, okay, so what? Twitter numbers can be faked. YouTube numbers can be faked. Twitter followers can be faked. All of these things can be faked. I tell people, being a content creator, knowing content creators in the YouTube spaces, people who do have Twitter and TikTok accounts, I tell y'all, numbers can be inflated. They can be bought. They can be faked. They can buy, people buy followers, people buy subscribers, people buy, there's bots and computer systems. You can pay money. It's basically like a PR thing. So all these bunnies attacking people, I said, this just seems very orchestrated. This seems very set up to me. Like, this seems like somebody is paying people to do this. And pretty much if you watch Hot Boy's video, that you can see that these people are going in Reddit groups. These people are going on Skype groups and coordinating certain things. I said online, you can create multiple accounts. You can do this with easy computer systems to set up bot attacks. I watched a whole documentary about it. And then on top of that, I work in a security company, like a cyber security company. And we see how you can go and see how at my company, how these things are done, how people set up bot accounts and see it like in real time. To see it in real time is very fascinating. To see how computer programmers literally just go in the system and boom, boom, boom. And you can tell with these fake YouTube channels, I see them all the time. I see them in people's comment sections. You go to their YouTube channel, this is nonsensical. So there's different ways you can tell whether somebody's account is real. When I go back and look at these bunnies attack campaigns and things that they posted on videos, I'm looking at each and every one of these accounts almost. I'm going through hundreds of accounts and I'm tracing their comments and I see their same comments on same channels. And I was like, that's not real. That person's not real. This person's fake. This profile, like you can tell that these aren't real people. That are attacking and posting things and writing things in people's comment section. You can tell that 9 times out of 10, these people ain't real. So they haven't put in work or years. No, they haven't put in work in years. You know, some, I don't know what's happening with NewJeans as to why they would want to go against their label. Like I said, we could theorize all day. If people solely blame Minhee Jin, but I think it's more than that. I think it's the parents as well. Like, I think it's not just Minhee Jin. I think the parents, Minhee Jin and snookered the parents, snookered NewJeans. And then on top of that, I've said it from day one. I ain't trying to throw nobody under the bus. I'm like, y'all need to look at these adults who have worked with NewJeans. These producers and these staff members, I believe they own in it too. Like, I don't care what anybody, I don't care what y'all say. People like, ooh, Kiki, you ain't got no evidence. I have no evidence. But I promise you, there's something lost in the sauce here. There's just something a little tainted, not just the parents, not just Minhee Jin, but I feel like there are possibly staff members that have colluded with them as well, that are getting online and creating. These are adults. Like, at first I thought these were just little kids. Yes, there are little kids playing on the internet who ain't got nothing else better to do. Yes. But from what I seen with Hot Boy's video today, confirm what I thought, that some of these, I think these are staff members who have worked with NewJeans, and possibly staff members, producers, friends of NewJeans, friends of the family, relatives of their families that have also or are also participating in this online bullshit as well. So I don't think it's just a bunch of 20-year-olds. And then it was surprising to me that a lot of these are men. Like the how can I put this? The perverted aspects of this is coming into play as well. And it shocked me watching this. And I went online to look things up. There, a lot of these is grown men, y'all. These are men that claim to be Bunny's fans, girl. And to look at some of these chat rooms and these groups that these so-called bunny uncles, like Sean on Soul, like call them bunny uncles. Some of the websites and the things that they was into, I went and looked. I was like, I'm finna go on these Korean boards and I'm finna look at these Telegraph accounts and these WhatsApp accounts. And it ain't nothing good. It ain't nothing good, ladies. It ain't nothing good. These men's perverts. So some of these people going crazy over NewJeans and a lot of these girl groups is perverts. Because not only do they have these bunny accounts if they real, but then they have other accounts and other questionable Reddit groups. And it's perverted. These nasty men. So some of these are nasty men. Marsha says she can see that they spend more time with their staff than their own family. Yeah, so you can see why the staff would be backing them up behind the scenes and then in front of the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the staff may have gotten attached to them. Like I said, then they have family members and they have friends, and then their parents have family member friends, and then like just the fact that a male bunny fan would come up here and be like, I'm like, why? This is this gonna push me down another rabbit hole, y'all. I'm gonna jump down this rabbit hole. These male K-pop friends. There's something tainted in the sauce about this. Some tainted. Something tainted. It don't taste right to me. That you got 30, 40-year-old men disinvested in a girl's K-pop group. Nah, man. Nah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nah. They don't sit right with me. That these people up here online talking about they NewJeans fans. How old are you? Man, like I said, ain't nothing wrong with being a fan. You know, I like certain groups or whatever. But the fact that you want to go online and you want to harass people and terrorize other people over a K-pop group, and you have like an organization of people that you target and you purposely, okay, and you a 30-year-old man, okay, I no. Talking about they have some major sus since the beginning, yeah. So in my mind, again, this is just my personal theory. I can't prove this. In my mind, I feel like there are paid forces who may have went online and pushed NewJeans toward these certain groups of sectors, if you will, of K-pop fandom. That they may have been encouraged to be fans of NewJeans. How? I'm not gonna get into it, but I feel honestly like after reading the things and seeing the things that I've seen, I feel like there are parties orchestrated for NewJeans that are a part of a orchestrated paid PR campaign. I've said that all along, and then now I feel like the other part of it is that these certain paid people have pushed NewJeans access and fandom towards these certain elements in the K-pop fandom that maybe they were pushed to become fans of theirs for various reasons I can't even get into on YouTube. I don't know what these groups were offered or shown or told or whatever. We'll never know. We may never know. But it's just strange to me that this group of K-pop fans, these groups somehow have gravitated toward NewJeans. And I just can't help to feel like this was encouraged. That this was like, oh, you know, like, yes, I side-eye all of this. That I feel like maybe they were offered something, or maybe they were allowed to have some kind of sneak peek or access to NewJeans in some sort of way that I don't know. But I just feel like that these people are either been paid, they're being set up as being paid, or they're being offered something else that I don't know what they're being offered to be supporters. I think some may genuinely just be supporters, but then, like I said, I've looked at this high and low, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, why are these people fans of NewJeans, but then they also are into this over here too, and a lot of them are over in this over, like, so none of this makes any sense to me. That there's intersectionality between certain groups of people, you know, South Korea. And again, I won't get into like the whole political aspect. High Boys getting that because I'm not that briefed or versed on South Korea politics. But I know what I've seen and I know what I saw. And it's just weird. And I don't think that these bunny fans are real. Anytime they post anything about internationally about NewJeans, it doesn't make news here. So people talk about, I just see it all over again. People are like, oh, NewJeans have all these fans. I'm like, no, they don't. I'm like, no, just because you see things in comment sections and on Twitter doesn't mean they have lots of fans. I'm like, you do know most of that shit is fake. You do know that people have 30, 40, 50 accounts trying to make like they have this huge. When I see it, there's no organicness to anything trending about NewJeans. It trends in South Korea first. That's how I know that most of it is coming from South Korea. Most of their fans are in South Korea. They do not have this huge international fandom in India and America and the UK. No, I don't see that. Because any place that they post that is away from Koreans and away from K-netizens, if you go and look at other news sources, it doesn't trend. It doesn't trend. Whenever High Boy posts his videos about NewJeans, the ones in all English don't do as the ones as Koreans. When you go on these Korean message boards, there are a bunch of tons of people over in Naver and DC Insider and all these little Korean message boards. There are a lot of posts there. But you go to Twitter, even in comparison to Twitter, the same people are going from Twitter to Naver, to Google, to Naver. These are the same people. I'm like, oh, these are the same groups of people. They all just go from one site to the. So it's not like it's a whole bunch of fans. It's just the group of same people, and I can't help to think that these things are coordinated, orchestrated, and paid for. So I side eye all of it. I side eye all of it. And then they're talking about a lot of these people are adults, and I'm really like, huh? They adults. So I don't believe it. So if NewJeans want to destroy their career, which they have, so be it. But NewJeans is done for. The more that they don't make any music, I don't care what post they post on Instagram or Twitter and saying hi to their fans. And the point is that the longer that they don't make music, the longer they become irrelevant. Like, in NewJeans is basically, they're not relevant. Like they the longer they stay in hiatus, the less relevancy that they have, the less popularity that they're going to have. The more people, K-pop is a real fast business. And if you are not obsolete, yes, Marsha, if you are not putting out music, if you are not doing tours, you're not doing variety shows, if you're not out there in the public, if you're not doing dance challenges, if you are not out in the public producing and making music and being out there for your fans, then basically, where is your fandom coming from? NewJeans wasn't even around long enough to have this huge fandom like everybody claimed. I'm like, y'all, it wasn't even that serious. I'm like, okay, they was around for like 2 years. People acting like they was like the second coming of BTS or some shit. They were not. They were not that. They weren't. A lot of publicity in K-pop, besides just NewJeans, but just say period. A lot of this publicity or these groups, no matter what group or what company they come from, a lot of this stuff is contrived and made up. A lot of this stuff is made up. Not just NewJeans, y'all. A lot of this stuff is made up. A lot of this stuff is not organic. These world tours, people have talked about it on their channels. Oh, this group was going on a world tour. And oh, this group had to, and then world tour don't even be sold out. They done roped off whole sections of the stadium. But they claim that they sold out. Because anybody can claim anything. Now, if the Ticketmaster or whoever come back and say it's sold out, the arena or stadium says it's sold out, that's one thing. But any SM, JYP, anybody can claim, oh, yeah, we sold out this tour. They can claim that all day. It doesn't mean it's real, though. And a lot of K-pop, I've said before, is smoke and mirrors. It's not real. A lot of the popularity is not organic. It's PR moves. It's stunts. It's tricks. It's PR moves. It's lies of omission. It's press manipulation. It's manipulating the fans online. This goes on not just in K-pop, but I tell people in politics, in everything. You cannot believe 90% of the shit that you see online because it's not real. Online is not real life. People can spin a narrative and be like, this is happening and that is happening and oh my God. And you need to see some real data, some real evidence to back it up. There are people online talking about stuff that they have no idea what they're talking about. There are people online talking about stuff that they don't even feel that it's disingenuous. They're doing it for clicks and views and clout and publicity and money. I tell my kids all the time, online is smoke and mirrors. You cannot believe what people say online. Go out and find it and search for it yourself. I do not believe what somebody tells me on a damn YouTube video. I'm not on Twitter. I don't do Instagram. I use TikTok just to make videos and that's it. I do not bow to the gods of social media. It's algorithms, it's data. They're pushing whatever they want you to see. They push whatever agenda they want you to push. And it's hard to really trust what content creators and what people are saying in comment sections. And it's hard to judge what's popular and what's, oh, they got tons of comments on here. Okay, they don't mean it's real though. Well, look how many clicks and views they got. Okay, that once again, I'm like, so what? People talk about these bunnies online. Well, there's a one content creator, I don't know her name, but people are like, oh my God, this person got, how you know they got all these people? Y'all really believe them clicks and views? I need to see some evidence that you have a large following. Do you have another business? You mean to tell me you on X or Twitter or Instagram, you have hundreds of thousands of followers, right? And you mean to tell me that you don't have a business? You got all these followers, right? You mean to tell me they're not selling no t-shirts? They're not selling anything else? All they're doing is on Twitter talking shit about K-pop, about certain groups, certain people. That's all they do. That's all they do. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't have a job or a real life. What does it say they do? But that's all the person is doing. It's just online talking about K-pop. They don't talk about nothing else. You don't even know who this person even is running this fucking channel. I don't trust nameless, faceless channels. Voiceless. That's why I don't mess with Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. Nameless, faceless accounts that anybody can post anything and say anything, and you don't know who this person is. You don't know if this is a paid account. Shit, you don't even know if it's NewJeans Jin behind the damn account. All you know, you see a little icon and you just reading their posts and seeing a bunch of people comment. I don't know who you are. I ain't seen your face. I don't know if you're a paid agent, if you working for SM Entertainment. You know, I'm not trying to pick on SM, but I'm just using an example. I don't know if you work for a rival company, because there are a bunch of channels that are channel and content farms online. I've said this over and over again. There are a bunch of channels and people who are paid by other people to post things, whether it be about K-pop, whether it be about entertainment news, movies, politics, whatever. There are a bunch of people who are just paid agents. They paid to create accounts. So I tell people, you have to be careful about giving these people credence, giving these clout chasers and these fakers credence, because you don't know who these people are cool with. It may turn out, oh, this person's really cool with NewJeans. Oh, well, that person friends with Danielle. Wait a minute, did they go to school together? Wait a minute, how they know them? Yeah. Then you start saying, oh well, this person behind the scenes really know this person. They all up at the fucking concert. They all like, oh, they in the third row. How you get third? Wait a minute, isn't that a content creator? How you get in the third row? What's she doing? How'd she get there? I thought they were a content creator. Yeah, they are a content creator, but you don't know what kind of relationships are going on behind the scenes between content creators and famous people. Because it happens. I've seen it personally myself. I've seen content creators get quote unquote exclusives because they're either related. They're like the second cousin friend of such and such. It happens. So I just tell y'all, beware and be safe out there. Do not lend these people more power than they should be. Some 22-year-old making a fucking TikTok account or a Twitter account, going in on BTS, and they have 100,000 viewers. Okay. But then everything they post, they have 100 posts. Let me tell you, just do the math. You have 100,000 subscribers, and then you post something, and then you look at their post, and it's like maybe, let's say, 100 comments. And then if you go back and look at their posts, you notice the same people keep commenting over and over again. Not saying that people don't have fans, because there are certain channels that I comment over and over again on their channels as well. But it starts to look real suspicious when you start comparing their posts and you notice the same names keep coming up over and over and over again in their comment sections. It's the same 30, 40 people, but they got 100,000 subscribers or followers on TikTok. And like I said, I'm not trying to point out just TikTok or Twitter or anything like that, but this applies to YouTube as well. There are people who have 100, 200, 300,000 subscribers, but then they don't get that many comments. They don't get that many views. You can see that on YouTube. There are people that told me that they Team Bunny, and I go look and they have 100,000 followers. But then when I look at their comments, I'm like, okay, the math ain't mathing. That don't add, like, that don't make no sense. Like, how many comments they got? Wait a minute. They are how many? You would think with that many followers, you would have more comments. But I digress. But that's just kind of how the game is played online, y'all. So I'm just telling y'all, don't fall for these tricks online, because they're just tricks. I like I said, I know content creators who have huge channels, and how they stoke the algorithms and how they post certain things and do clickbait and say this is all part of the game on being social. Social media is a game, y'all. It is for entertainment purposes. Yes, there are people out there with good channels that are putting in the Lord's work, that are posting really, really factual things, and you can tell that they put a lot into their content. And then there's some people out there just posting for clickbait. There are people out there for various topics that just post them because they want clicks and views, and they want to be YouTube famous or internet famous, and they want to be able to hobnob and rub elbows with K-pop stars. And they may love K-pop, they may like certain groups, but you don't know what the real motivations people are. So Team Bunnies or whatever, I don't believe none of this. I don't believe the hype. Just don't believe it, y'all. So that's my spiel about NewJeans. What I have to say about NewJeans, that I don't believe it until I see some real evidence, some real fandoms that are internationally, because they're not that famous here. So that I have to say. So on to my second topic. My second topic, we're going to quickly talk about Jin. So Jin, BTS Jin, Worldwide Has Some Jin, released, Hybe released, Big Hit released news saying that he's coming out with the album called Echo on May 16th. And they released a track list, and I think there's 8 songs, either six to 8 songs. And they released the name of the songs. I'm anxious to see what his first music video is going to be. I knew that, and I've said it before in my live stream, that Jin was going to be releasing some more music. I thought it was just going to be a mini album. I thought it was going to be like 4 or 5 songs, but I was shocked to find out that he is releasing a whole entire album. And so that was a pleasant surprise for us, armies. And then the other thing that I totally took me by surprise that I didn't hear is that Jin is doing a solo tour. So he is doing a solo worldwide tour, kind of like following in the footsteps of J-Hope. And one of the dates that he's coming to in July 22nd and July 23rd, he will, a month after my birthday, he will be coming to Dallas. Now, that J-Hope, I really wanted to go see J-Hope, but I could not see J-Hope because J-Hope was in San Antonio. San Antonio is literally 4 or 5 hours away from me. Dallas, Texas, I live in the Dallas area. I will be going to that Jin concert, period. I don't care how much I got to pay for tickets. The J-Hope tickets were, I've said it before and said it again, were not very expensive. I could have got good tickets for about $300 and something, maybe if I really wanted to push it, maybe $700. But if you register, I'm sure they're gonna have pre-register like they did with J-Hope, and I'm so excited to finally go to my first BTS member, any BTS concert ever. It'll be my first, and I will be definitely posting videos and stuff on here. And speaking of concerts, I've said it before in my post section, formerly community section. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel, period. But I've said it before, and like I posted this week saying that this summer I have a whole slew of concerts to go to. BB, Stray Kids, ATEEZ, Jin. I'm missing one. Let's see. Stray Kids, BB, Jin, ATEEZ. I'm going to a BTS Reactor Con. So starting May 1st, I think I'm going to concerts. There's 3 concerts in June. There's Jin in July and one in August. So 3, 4, yeah. So at least 5 or 6 different events so far of what I'm going to. And I'm very, very, very excited. I try to go to K-pop concerts every year. Last year, I was on vacation. Last year, I hurt my knee. So I think we went to 2 concerts during 2023. 2024 was a hard year. I lost my mother-in-law. My knee got messed up. I had to have knee surgery. So this year we have come back in full force. Me and my wonderful, lovely sister-in-law. That's my K-pop buddy. So we have a slew of concerts to go to. So subscribe to my channel. Like I said, anytime I go on a concert, I try to post video. I try to post my own fan cam. And so just make sure you stay tuned because I'm gonna be out here filming. I'm gonna do it during the summer months. Is very busy for me work wise, and then also events. So my kids are out of school. There's things that they want to go. There's places that they want to go, and so any place that I go, K-pop or not, I will be filming it and posting it on my channel. So make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned. And speaking of concerts, so let's get on to the next subject of Coachella. Now, Coachella is this big, if you don't know, big concert tour in California, and I think they have one in Chicago as well. And Coachella started no, I'm sorry. That's Lollapalooza. Coachella is just in California, and it's a big, huge concert slash festival for 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So many years ago, I don't know who first started it, but at first it was just pop idols, acts. Coachella started many years ago, and it it had Beyonce, they've had a bunch of like really heavy hit headliners. Well, years ago, I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago, they started. I don't know who's the first K-pop person to be at Coachella, but they started to invite K-pop people as K-pop BTS came on the scene and they became more popular. I think Blackpink was the first group to perform at Coachella. I don't know. Y'all correct me. I don't know. But I think that's what I heard. But again, I wasn't into K-pop 4 or 5 years ago, so I don't really know. But Coachella is a big concert in California. And this year they had not one, not two, not three, but four different K-pop type groups. So they had Enhypen, and I've seen Enhypen in concert in 2023. We went to Enhypen when they came to Dallas, and they were really good. They had XG, which I'm proud of XG. They're a girl group. And then they had Lisa of Blackpink and Jennie of Blackpink. So those four Korean groups or talent performed. There has been a lot of controversy. There's been a lot of things written. There's every Le Sserafim performed Coachella last year, and they drugged Le Sserafim for filth. They said that they couldn't sing. They said I sat there and watched the real Coachella film, not the edits on YouTube gossip channels, not what people posted on Instagram, but the real video, like the fan cam video. That's how you get a real sense of how a group performed. Because people are going to take the worst snippets and they're trying to spin it to the worst. People trying to spin it to the good. They're going to take the good clips. I went and watched the actual fan film, like the fan cams, and of the Le Sserafim performance last year, and it was not that bad. I've said it before and over again. I don't know why people was talking about Le Sserafim was so horrible. There were some moments that they were off key, but I did not think it was like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. I've heard real premiere stars perform at Coachella, and they've lip synced. And they have not even really sing. I said these westernized groups and singers, they don't even sing at Coachella. They don't even really, y'all, they don't really be singing like that. So they have definitely a backtrack and up their lip syncing. So the Seraphim, they were new. They haven't been around for very long. I think this is the biggest stage that they performed on. And they just seemed like they just weren't ready or prepared. So I can sit there and say, I'm not saying it was all good, but I'm just saying it's not all bad either. But people blew it up and they got death threats and all, last year. It was just, it had something to do with the whole NewJeans, mini Jin thing, and the Le Sserafim hate train just kept on going for months. And I'm like, okay, Coachella was like it was April last year, and like 5, 6, 7 months later, people still talking about how horrible Le Sserafim was during Coachella. This was last year. So this year, people went in again because for some reason, Hive groups stokes the hatred of Korea. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of powerful enemies Hive has created, but they've created some. I saw a video just the other day on YouTube. It was recommended to me when I was watching the Coachella video. So I said, okay, I'm going to watch it like again. I'm going to watch the Coachella videos for myself. I'm not going to watch what people are posting in snippets. I want to watch the performance for myself. So I watched the Hypen live. I watched all of these performances live. Hypen. Next thing you know, on my recommends, videos, YouTubers start popping up talking about Hypen the crowd. There wasn't nobody in the crowd. So I see video. I see one video, another video get recommended. I was like, okay, am I gonna watch this nonsense? Because I know for a fact from what people have posted online, pictures what people posted online, the crowd was not empty. So I was like, you know what? Just humor me. I'm gonna watch these videos. So I'm gonna watch these videos. I watch these videos. They talking about he wasn't nobody at the Hypen. There wasn't nobody there. The crowd was empty. That's not true. The crowd was not empty. Asian Entertainment on her channel, she talked about the crowd wasn't empty. The crowd was there. They showed pictures of the crowd, and they like, it was embarrassing. I don't know who these people are. I don't know why people post this. I don't know if this is hype haters or these are clickbaiters, but it's an absolutely bold-faced lie that Hypen had nobody there the crowd was empty. The crowd was kind of quiet from what I'm used to, but the crowd was not empty. It was a nice crowd. So that was the thing within Hypen. Then XG. So I went and watched XG. Y'all know I love XG. Y'all know I consider XG like the girl version of BTS. Like they should be a lot bigger and popular than what they are. XG, I believe, went on a tour last year. They came to Grand Prairie. I couldn't get tickets. Well, I could get tickets, but my sister-in-law, my Ace Boone, my road dog, was in Korea. So when she was in Korea in October, I'm sorry, it wasn't April, it was October last year. When she was in Korea, XG came, and I didn't want to go by myself. So she was in Korea, so I didn't buy tickets, but I wanted to go see XG. But yes, they did go on a tour. But Coachella, I think, is the biggest stage that they have performed at. And then XG did phenomenal. They got up there, sing, they danced, they had a good look. They did their thing. And then I started to see YouTube videos being recommended. XG, they lip synced. They wasn't singing, they had a backtrack. That's not true. XG sang all of their songs. They didn't lip sync. Matter of fact, one of the YouTubers who accused XG of lip syncing, people got in this person's comment section and was like, girl, you better quit. And she came out and did a retraction video saying, this is why I thought XG was lip syncing. I thought this because of blah, 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 blah. So in other words, somebody posted a video about XG lip syncing. She didn't lip sync. They did not lip sync. They sang their whole set and they sounded phenomenal. They sounded really good. And like I said it before and I said it again. I don't have any problem with lip syncing. I don't have any problem with backtracking in K-pop. Apparently, K-pop fans get all up in their shit about that. They get all up in their crawl about lip syncing. I'm used to lip syncing. I'm used to artists. I'm sorry. I'm from the West. I live in America. I'm American. I've been listening to music for a long, long time. I'm old as hell. So in my mind, I've seen some of the biggest acts in the world lip sync, and I've seen some of the biggest acts in the world get on stage and sing live. I know that there are acts out there who cannot sing, and I know that there are singers out there who can sing. And so they're just singers, they're entertainers. Entertainers, I say that, entertainers who cannot sing. There are singers out there who cannot sing. Real famous ones who sound good on some songs, and then some songs they don't. Sound good in some concerts, and some concerts they do not. And it's just the music industry. There are singers out there who are very famous who cannot sing in the West. And I know you K-pop people, y'all want to be like, K-pop singers should be able to sing. To me, K-pop is just like any other singer. It's entertainment. To me, K-pop is entertainment. K-popper groups, to me, are there to entertain. Part of it is the visuals. Part of it is the dancing. Part of it is the stage presence. Part of it is the looks. Part of it is the charisma, the things that you do off stage on variety shows and Weverse posts. And to me, me being a K-pop artist is a totalitarian. It's a whole 360 thing. It's not just about singing. It's not just about dancing. It is about a whole bunch more. It's about charisma. It's about, can you engage and connect with your fans? So I give K-pop singers a lot more wiggle room than most K-pop fans do. But then again, I'm not a K-pop super fan. I like BTS. But I'm just saying, this whole thing about singing and singing and singing and singing, it's not something that's very important to me. To me, you don't have to be a strong singer to be a K-pop star. Because in America, there are plenty of people who are not strong singers. There have been people who have been utterly, completely famous that are pop, quote unquote, pop stars that can't sing and they barely even dance. But they still have fandoms, they still have fans, they still play clubs and venues, and people still come to see them. And if their fans know that they were never marketed as these great singers. I never see K-pop marketing K-pop groups as these immensely talented people. I don't see that. To me, when you go on a K-pop reality show, an elimination show, like a lot of these K-pop groups now have been formed off of reality shows. To me, when you throw trainees and you find them from a reality show, when you are recruiting these young men and women from a mall, to me, the idea of vocal proficiency is out the window. To me, it's a joke. Because I'm like, if you want vocal proficiency, then you go out and find that. I've never watched one of these K-pop survival shows where vocal proficiency is at the top of the list. But you want me as a fan to feel like that is the top? Why? Then I need the industry to take that seriously. In order for me to take K-pop vocals seriously, I need the industry to take it as serious. Because the industry, at the end of the day, don't take it seriously anymore. Now, what they did, first generation, second generation, that may have been a little different. But to me, finding a K-pop group members on a survival show does not mean, to me, that spells to me entertainment. That's entertainment for me. That is not, repeat, not a serious way to find a singer. Finding the most skinniest, prettiest, handsomest people on the planet and then expect them to be able to sing and dance as well is a joke to me. So you mean to tell me that this really handsome or really beautiful woman, that you expect them to sing, to be able to be really good dancers and singers too? It's not realistic to me. There are plenty of people who know how to sing and know how to dance that are not pretty people in Korea. There are plenty in America, everywhere. So the idea that K-pop is built on this foundation of like vocal prowess and talent, that, like, y'all stop playing. Yeah, that's y'all are playing with me. It's not. It's not. Fans may think that way, but behind the scenes in the industry, nobody is like, ooh, we're out here to find the best singer. When they look for K-pop stars and trainees, finding the best singer is not like at the top 3 requirements. Can they go through, can they dance? Do they look good? Are they disciplined? Can they learn quickly? That is what they're looking for in a trainee. The singing and the dancing is an afterthought. Can they endure the trials of being a K-pop trainee and being in a K-pop group? Can they follow directions? Can they be a team player? Can they consistently improve over time? Those are some of the traits you look for a trainee. So the idea that the singing is this big thing, the industry doesn't push that as being a priority in the industry. And that's not my fault. That's not the fans' fault. That just is what it is. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and be like, oh, they're supposed to sing. But back to XG, they did get out there and they sing, and people accused them of lip syncing. They did not. So anybody saying that is they the haters, they got some agenda. They doing it for clicks and views, or they just don't know what the hell they talking about. XG did not lip sync. They sounded phenomenal. As always, they do. If you go to any XG performance live, they are consistently sounding good. They are the heir apparent to me to BTS. If they had the money and the promotions and the tenacity, I don't know what company that they're run by, but whatever they do, these company, they need to step their game up, because XG is the truth. They have music that I personally, my vocal preference, and it's more R&B. I like it. It's more rap. It's more R&B. It's more pop. it's the kind of music that I particularly like, and it's what I prefer. It may not be for everybody, but XG are immensely talented young ladies. And so this Coachella has really given them a push. It's really had more people trying to find out who is XG. And that's great. That's a good thing. And I'm glad this is giving them a good push that's needed. So then we get on to Lisa, my girl Lisa. Y'all know I'm a Lily. Y'all know Lisa's my girl, okay? I love Lisa. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. I like Blackpink. I have no problems with Blackpink. But I have no problems being honest. I'm Army, but I have no problems being honest. Lisa looked great. She's a great performer. All that. But she did get out there and sing with a backtrack. She did get out there and sing with a backtrack. And again, I'm not hating on that. That's not my ministry. She got out there and sang with a backtrack. She lip synced. She did a good job at it. You know, she wasn't like up here holding her microphone out here like this. So I can't say nothing about Lisa, but she looked good. Her introduction was good at Coachella, but people was hating on her because they were saying that she had a backtrack. She lip synced what she did. Then Jenny come out there. Jenny always does a good job. Jenny looked fantastic. She looked great. She looked beautiful. And I have to say that they each had Jenny and Lisa had large crowd. And they were saying that out of those four, Lisa had the largest crowd. They even said XG had a larger crowd than Hypen. And I saw the pictures. And it looks like they did. But Jenny and Lisa had the largest crowds, and Lisa, I would say, had the biggest one. And Jenny got out there, looked great. She looked beautiful. But yes, her too. Jenny and Lisa are not strong singers. They just not. You know, they just not. Blackpink collectively are good together. But then if you put them on a solo, when it comes just to vocal prowess, Jenny and Lisa are not vocally very strong, but they can sound very strong depending on what kind of music they're singing and what song it is. Depending on the genre of music and what song it is. Rose, the music that Rose was singing on her album, to me fit her vocal chef's kiss. To me, Lisa, as much as I love Lisa and ain't got nothing against Jenny, their albums to me was just all over the place. To me, Lisa, I liked some of her songs, but it just kind of seemed like all over the place. Jenny, the same thing. I see what she was trying to do, and it's okay. It's just not my type of music, but it was just all over the place. To me, Rose had a more cohesive sound and a direction for her music. I've said this before. I haven't listened to Jisoo, her album, because she stayed mostly in the Korean language genre, and she did go on the Korean charts, but she not an international like the other three, because the other three speak English. Jenny, Lisa, and Rose, they all speak English. So it's easier for them to translate into, or whatever direction that they professionally wanted to go into. But I look forward to seeing Blackpink come out with music together and not separately, because again, I like Lisa. I like some of the songs on her album. I like Jenny. I didn't really care for any of the songs on her album. It was just okay. It's just not my musical type. But I just feel that both of them did it musically. It was just all over the place. It was just, here's hip hop, here's rap, here's a little bit of pop, here's a little slow arm. Here's a little bit of rock, here's a little avant-garde. Like, it was just, I mean, it was just kind of like, here's collaborations just to get collaborations. Like like some of the collaborations didn't even really make no sense really. So, but like again, this is all my opinion. People may disagree. If you disagree, that's fine. Put it in the comment section. You disagree. But I just feel like, that it was just kind of like all over the place. Okay. So that's what happened with Coachella. So don't believe the hype. Go and watch the performances for yourself. Don't believe people cutting in videos and editing. And sometimes, when Coachella, they get through editing their stuff, they enhance the backtracking and they make it sound better than what Coachella does that too. So, just don't believe the hype. Just, watch for yourself and then judge for yourself. Like I said, when it comes to these performances, I believe what I see and what I hear, not what other people are telling me, because people, like I said, there are haters out there. There's people, you don't know what the motivation is. And then which brings me to my last point about fans and fandom and the toxicity in K-pop. We all know that there's a lot of toxicity in K-pop. And I could do a whole video about the different forms and levels and groups of toxicity. But I do have to say that, like, I would say ending this video is that you support your group. I don't understand the point of I got to get online and create separate accounts and do things and do stunts and flicks and tricks and to pull down other groups, to write things negative or do videos about other groups. I don't do negative videos on my channel about other groups. I don't talk about other groups in a negative light. There are groups out there that it's just not my type. It's not my thing. It's just not my thing. Like, there's just certain groups music genres, I don't care for. Just personally, it's a taste thing. It's not saying that they're not produced good. It's not saying that they're not good singers. It's not saying that they are not good dancers. It's just certain genres of music that I don't like. There are certain genres of music I feel that are too young for me. I'm not into Illit, like Illit and Kepler and NewJeans. It's too young for me. Like, their music is okay. I may like a song or here or two or a melody, but it's not like something I'm gonna hate on it. And if I don't like it, I just move on. If I don't like it, I move on. It's like, oh, I don't like that. I just move on. It's just that simple. There's no reason for me to go online and being like, this group sucked and this is terrible. For what? Like, I didn't like it, so I don't talk about it. If I don't like it, I don't talk about it. So that's one toxic thing. I don't understand why people have concerted efforts and get in groups and they get together and have, like, Reddit super secret Reddit groups and fan calls to, let's go out here and tear down BTS, or let's go down here and tear down. Why? What? Let's go out here and talk about this group, or talk about this group's comeback, or, oh, they look terrible, or even if they do look terrible, okay. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, yeah. But I'm just like, okay, so what group are you fan of? Talk big up that group. That's what I do. I big up the groups that I like. I talk about a lot about BTS. That's the group I'm a super fan of. I don't care what other groups do, say, don't do. It's not that serious for me. I care about what BTS do. And then another thing I have to say to BTS Army, I'm finna check y'all real quick. Why y'all care about what other people do in the fandom? Why y'all? Why is that a thing? I'm gonna do a whole video about, like, there are certain elements that people like. Like, people don't like the shippers. I don't have a problem with the shippers as long as it doesn't get toxic. People don't like the people who I don't know, that the people who collect photo cards. People talk about them. Well, that's just weird. If that's what they want to do, as long as it's not hurting anybody, as long as it's not hurting the artist, then I don't care. If it gets to toxic where you're harassing artists, you're harassing their family members or their friends or their potential boyfriend or girlfriend, or, like, when it gets to that, or you're tearing down their bag, you're influencing, like, how much money they make, or something like that, then that's where I'm kind of like, okay, hold on. If y'all want to get on these Reddit sites and Twitters and fight amongst each other, armies, factions fighting against this faction, I mean, you can do that if you want to. I just find it curious and weird. If it's not hurting the artist, I don't care what you do. If it's not hurting their bag, I don't care what you think. I don't care if BTS had 20 fans or 20 billion fans. It doesn't stop me from liking BTS or not liking them or no whatever. I like BTS because I do. I don't need validation from other armies or other fandoms to tell me how great BTS is. Some of y'all get wrapped up in that real hard. Some of y'all get mad because other fandoms may come to y'all spaces and criticize. I don't give a damn if you get on here and criticize BTS. I don't give a damn if you think BTS look like boys. I don't give a damn. I don't care. Unmoved, uncared, unflustered. I don't care if BTS have 5 fans, like I said, or 5 million. It's not going to stop me from being ARMY. I don't don't care if you don't like sugar. Okay, I do. I don't care if you think the incident is gonna ruin his reputation. So what? As long as somebody's not sending funeral wreaths, they're out stalking the artist online or God forbid in person. As long as you're not throwing threats or bodily harm at any of these members, if you start going to their Weverse lives and going to their site and saying harmful things, that's when it becomes toxic. When you start hitting up their family members or their family members' business, then that's crazy. That's a toxic fan. But if you think that Jungkook and Kim Tae Young are together, what am I gonna be like? No, they're not. Oh my God! I'm like, who? If you want to post a whole YouTube channel about how in love you think Jimin and Jungkook are, if that's your whole ministry, that's your whole channel. If you're on Twitter and that's all you want to Photoshop, and as long as you're not saying this is a real photo, this is really them. If you want to do fan art, AI photos, if you want to have Jimin and Jungkook tongue kissing and tongue wrestling, if you want to have them naked in the bed, you be like, I could look what picture I created, them naked in the bed together, because that's what I want to see, and that's what I feel like is happening. As long as you don't take it to their family members and pages and harass them and be like, I know you're together and harass you, keeping it on your page, that's your ministry, that's your fandom, then I was like, so be it, Army, so be it. Now I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't think they're together. I don't know, and I don't really care. But if that's what keeps you in this fandom and you keep it on the QT, which means that you keep it just in your corner of the fandom, that's what you, and you're not hurting nobody, you're not harassing nobody, you're not going on other people's pages and sites and telling people this is what you need to believe. No, Jungkook is not dating a girl because he's really with Jimin, and you need to stop putting it like once you start harassing other people, that's a problem. But if that's what you want to do, then do you. But there are so much gatekeeping I see in fandoms, and not just BTS Army. But there are people out there telling people how they need to be fans. And then people get upset. I don't get upset if you think all members of BTS is gay. That's not, as long as you're not toxic with it. As long as you're not standing outside Jungkook's house with a sign and harassing him and following him while you're in the military, out the military. I don't care if that's what you believe online. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I'm not here to gatekeep your fandom. Just don't hurt the artist. Just don't hurt their families. Just don't hurt their friends. Let them have their privacy. But if you want to create whole spaces and pages and websites, and that's what you want to do, that's your ministry. And to the people that have a problem with that, y'all need to stop trying to gatekeep the fandom. Let people do what they do. I post one video and somebody was like, "You're one of these take cookers," and I had to read that chick for filth. I said, first of all, you have not even been to my channel, obviously, because you would see that my channel is not a take cook channel. Second of all, I believe that they are friends. There's nothing on my channel that it's like I'm shipping these people. I don't ship anybody. It's their personal business whether they with each other or not. The moment I even brought anything up, a video that was a cute video about Jungkook and Kim Tae Young, it was cute. It was friendship. It wasn't anything sexual. Wasn't anything. Then somebody had the nerve to jump all over me without even watching the video, without even going to my channel, without knowing anything about my channel. They got in my comment section on Weverse and was like, "Oh my God, you're one of these shippers." I'm like, why does that bother you? Even if I am a shipper, why would that bother me? I see tons of shippers. I keep it moving. I'm like, oh, that's not my thing. I just click off it and keep it moving. I may watch it. I may get a little chuckle. I may read the post. I just get a chuckle. If that's the way you feel that's your way, as long as it's healthy and it's not hurting the artist, I don't care. There are people who get upset because there's solo stands in the fandom. If you're a solo stand and you're trying to talk shit and bring down other members of BTS, if you're like, oh, I hate Jungkook or Taeyoung didn't sing that good, and you feel like you need to bring down other members because you want to elevate your solo standum, I disagree with that. But there are people who just have pages and YouTube channels that are celebrating one particular artist because they are solo stands. There are people out there who are like, no, no thanks. I don't really support BTS like that, but I support Jungkook. Let's say, for instance, if Jungkook goes on tour, creates an album, they will buy it. They will go on that tour, but they don't support all the BTS members. And there are people who BTS Army members who get upset about that. Well, you're a solo stan. So what? Are they? Wait a minute. They're toxic solos. Are they trying to pull down other members? Are they harassing other solo stands? I don't really have a problem with that. Are you harassing the members of the group? That's where I draw the line. They not harassing members of the group? Are they talking shit about Jimin to other fans? I could care less. I don't get in my craw about solo stands either. If you like one particular member of the group, like who you like, create whatever pages, you want to talk shit about the other members of the group, I don't have a problem with that. As long as you're not taking it to the other members' pages and harassing them and all that. Are you on Weverse in their DMs talking about you ain't shit, you ain't shit? No, you ain't doing all that. You can say what you have the right to say whatever you want to say. And in the fandom, I have a right to not read it and click off it and just move on. But I'm not here, I feel, to gatekeep your fandom. You do you. You like who you like. You express your support in the way that you want to express it. I may not agree with it, but again, if it's not toxic, you're not hurting the artists that are family members or friends, you're not setting up funeral wreaths, you're not issuing these people death threats, then I'm like, go about it. These fans, well, I'm not about to fight with somebody because they love Jimin and they hate Jungkook. That's fine. Are you blowing up Jungkook telling you hate him? Well, no, I ain't did that. I'm just telling y'all I don't like Jungkook. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to sit there and go at you. You have a right to dislike whatever member of BTS and like whatever member you don't like. I am not here to gate. Again, my fandom of BTS is not predicated on yours. It's predicated on me. Just because you don't like Sugar, for instance, it doesn't mean that doesn't offend me. It doesn't hurt me. Just because you hate BTS, I don't give a shit. That's not going to stop me. That's not going to be like, oh my God, they don't like BTS. They said bad things about. I'm just like, so what? You know what? That's your opinion. You are entitled to have your opinion. Goodbye. I don't like BTS. Okay. That's not going to stop me being a fan. That's not going to stop BTS from making millions. There's plenty of BTS haters. They still outselling tours. They still at the top of the charts. They still got the bag. Is it going to affect my boys' bag? No. Is it going to affect their well-being whether one person or a group of people don't like BTS? Fuck no. They've been hated on since day one. Is it going to stop me being an army enjoying BTS because, oh, well, this person said they don't like Sugar, so I don't know. I'm second guessing my like of Sugar. Hell no. I'm like, I don't give a shit whether you like BTS or not. It ain't going to stop me from wearing my shirt. Yoongi marry me. That ain't gonna stop it. So again, a lot of people, I feel like in these fandoms, their fanhood is so fragile that the moment someone says something bad about their bias or their group, then they go on the attack. I don't care if a person don't like something or not. Now, when you start spreading slander, you start making up rumors about people, then okay, then I may be like, wait a minute, that's not true. That's not true. When you start spreading lies or just out hatred, then I have a problem. But if you don't like somebody, you don't like something, you don't like BTS, you don't like Sugar, you don't like RM, you don't like Jin, okay, I don't care. That's not going to stop me from being army. So I would tell people that a lot of people are really invested into the group think mentality of army. They got to be around other armies. Maybe that's cool for you or whoever's listening. That's fine. But for me, I don't have to be around armies to be army. I could be an army of one. I could be the only BTS fan left on the planet. And I'm still going to be like, smooth like butter, criminal undercut. I'm still going to be singing my BTS. I don't need a group of armies. I don't know other armies besides the people that interact with me on my channel. I don't belong to army groups on Reddit. I'm not on Reddit. I don't like that. I don't belong to a group of armies on Twitter. I don't need Twitter backup. I don't need to feel like I'm part of a collective to like BTS. Some of y'all just feel like y'all want to belong to something. That's fine for you, but I'm just saying, as for me, I don't feel like I need to be a part of a collective in order to feel good about being a BTS fan, or feel like I have some sort of power, or like this validates my fandom. I don't need anybody or anyone to validate my fandom. So it's just something for y'all to think about. Like you people get so wrapped up, and I see these Reddit and these Twitter wars, and I'm like, why do y'all let people get y'all wound up over shit that doesn't mean anything? I don't need you to like my fandom. I don't need you to like my group to feel good about my group. I like what I like. I like who I like. And I don't care if I go to a concert and there's 5 people there or there's 50,000. I could go to a BTS concert right now. BTS could fall off and I'm still going to be sitting in the audience clapping. I don't care if I look around and I'm the only person in the audience. I'm still going to be supporting. I don't need my fandom validated, obviously, because I'm the only person I know that's Army. So I just tell people that people need to be a little bit more thick-skinned in Army. People need to stop gatekeeping the fandom, and people need to stop having other people validate their love of BTS and feel like they need backup all the time. Like they got to have people just cohesively liking the same things and celebrating BTS in the same way that they do. Because people celebrate in ways that you may be offended by, you may not like, but as long as they're not hurting the artist, that's the main goal. I don't care if they hurt the fandom. I don't care if they're upset with people, fighting with people in the fandom. You're not taking it to the artist, and I'm like, okay, cool. So that's just something to remember. But anyway, I like to say hello to everybody and thank y'all for viewing my channel. I got to go on. This is my live stream. I'll probably be back in a couple of days to talk about something, or maybe working on another video. I don't know what I'm working on. It has been a long April. I got a lot of things to do this month. It's busy. It's hot. It's like 80 degrees here in Texas. So I just thank everybody who watched this video. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, y'all, have a good day. Bye. Bye. Bye.